I found a very strange lighter. I only brushed it lightly, and it snapped open on its own. Then I gave it a casual pull, and its body suddenly extended more than 40 meters in an instant. I immediately realized this was not a lighter at all, but some kind of new weapon I had never seen before. The moment I raised it, a digital scope instantly appeared on the body of the gun. Even crazier, I could manually switch its form and turn it into different firing modes. I was so excited that I immediately took my brother out into the open to test it. I casually fired one shot at a pile of grass in the distance, and I didn't expect it to be that powerful. Then I raised the weapon again and fired at another pile of grass. The target was blasted into ashes almost instantly. My brother was completely stunned. He immediately snatched the weapon from my hand and wanted to try it himself. But to our surprise, the trigger suddenly locked on its own and nearly sliced off his toe. He had no choice but to hand the weapon back to me. The second it was back in my hand, it automatically unlocked again. But even I had no idea what was going on. A few days earlier, I had gone into an abandoned building to collect some scrap metal and help support my family. But I never expected to see something so bizarre there. Several bodies in steel armor were lying motionless on the ground. Some of them had even had their heads blown off. It was obvious that a brutal battle had taken place there before. I picked up a metal box from the floor and was wondering what it was when one of the bodies on the ground suddenly came back to life. I was so terrified that I turned and ran on the spot. I threw away the metal box in my hand and fled the place in a panic. But after I got home, I still couldn't stop thinking about the weapon I had left behind there. So I worked up the courage and went back to the building. But this time, I discovered that all the bodies on the ground had mysteriously disappeared. For a moment, I thought maybe everything I had seen before had just been a hallucination. But when I climbed down near the alarm device, I saw that the weapon was still lying there quietly. So I secretly took it home, and after that, I kept treating it like my own high-end toy. But later, my brother deliberately started trouble in a bar and ended up getting surrounded and beaten by a group of security guards. To get him out of there, I had no choice but to pull out the weapon and warn them. But the guards thought I was just trying to scare them with a toy. Then, in the very next second, they were so frightened that none of them dared move. Although my brother and I managed to get away in the end, we had no idea that the moment this mysterious weapon was activated, it had already drawn the attention of two steel-clad warriors. They easily stole two electric scooters and sped after us.